Well, good afternoon. As everyone knows, New York is the Big Apple, and 12 months from now, it will be the Big Pigskin as well. Laugh, folks. That was funny. Worked hard on that line. February 2nd, 2014. Mark it down. Super Bowl XLVIII will kick off at MetLife Stadium. And during the week before the big game, hundreds of thousands of fans from across the country and around the globe will converge on New York City. It is going to be a week of high-energy excitement for everyone involved. And today we want to announce how, along with the National Football League, we're going to make this experience a touchdown for everyone. Now, we have a sign, which is, right there. Way to go. Super Bowl Boulevard. That includes turning Broadway into Super Bowl Boulevard. For the 4 days leading up to next year's Super Bowl XLVIII, from Wednesday, January 29th through Saturday, February 1st, Broadway from 34th to 44th Streets will become Super Bowl Boulevard and will be alive with free football fun. There will be outdoor music performances and other live events on multiple stages. There will be appearances by current and former NFL players, football clinics and competitions, and other fan-friendly interactive events that will make being in New York for the Super Bowl truly memorable. The city is making plans to close the affected portion of Broadway to vehicular traffic during the hours when Super Bowl Boulevard is active. Crosstown streets will remain open all the time, and we'll work with local residents and businesses to make sure their needs are met. And I'm pleased to say that Midtown's principal business groups, the Fashion Center Business Improvement District, represented here today by its president, Barbara Randall, the Times Square Alliance, represented by its Director of Communications, Gia Storm, and the 34th Street Partnership, represented by its Assistant Director of Events, Shara Stutman, all strongly support the Super Bowl Boulevard plan. And so does our Manhattan Borough President, Scott Stringer, who you'll hear from shortly. The NFL is going to blanket cover New York with other Super Bowl events, including the annual Giant Media Party, which will be held this year at Chelsea Piers on January 28th of next year. So media people, put that down on your calendar. And the annual national televised NFL Honors Award show will take place here on January 31st of next year. In addition, we expect more than 5,000 credentialed members of the media to pour into New York for the big game, and the Super Bowl Media Center will be headquartered at the Midtown Sheraton Hotel. Now, I think New York is already the nation's Super Bowl champion of tourism, and I think most people would agree with that if you look at the numbers. Last year, we welcomed a record-setting 52 million visitors to our city, and our goal is to host 55 million visitors a year by 2015. And all these activities are going to show our city's best face to people from around the world and encourage them to make return visits. They're also going to be part of a week of events that will generate a multi-million-dollar impact on our city's economy. So let me turn things over to a man who can tell us more about Super Bowl XLVIII, the Commissioner of the National Football League, Roger Goodell. Roger?
You're welcome. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to Mayor Bloomberg for all his support. As you know, this time of year we are always getting ready for Super Bowl, and we're 10 days away from a Super Bowl in New Orleans. But we wanted to also look ahead a little bit to Super Bowl XLVIII here in the New York region just a year from now. And several months ago, many of the people that are behind me, we all met in my office and spent a little bit of time setting our objectives for what we wanted to achieve in Super Bowl XLVIII. And it was clear the first thing we wanted to do was really embrace the weather, embrace New York and New Jersey as the home of the Super Bowl. This is what makes it unique, and this is what makes it special. We also obviously wanted to make sure we were prepared for all alternatives. That includes the weather. That includes potential for snow or ice. We will be prepared for those alternatives. But the biggest thing is we wanted to develop a plan that the people of this region would be proud of, that would make a statement, and that everyone here would feel was representative of this great city. So we thank the mayor for his vision and for his agreement that this is the right thing for this city. And we also thank the governor, Governor Cuomo, and Governor Christie also for what they're doing to support these plans also. But one thing that everyone should be aware of, the Super Bowl is not just a game anymore. It's really a week of events, hundreds of events that take place as a lead up to that game on Sunday. And we're going to make that special here in New York and throughout the region. We expect hundreds of thousands of people will be coming in to the New York region for this game. They won't just be attending the game, they'll be attending the events. We only can put 80,000 people into MetLife Stadium, but those other folks are here to be entertained, to enjoy New York, New Jersey area, and make sure that it's a great event. And we are going to make sure that we entertain them. So working with the city, the Giants, the Jets, our Super Bowl host committee, we've come up with ambitious plans that really are unprecedented, even by Super Bowl standards. And we are pleased to announce, as the mayor did, that we are going to have Super Bowl Boulevard, which will be a free 4-day celebration of football right down Broadway. And we think this is going to be truly unique for New Yorkers and for the people visiting. So we're thrilled about that. Our head of special events is in New Orleans preparing for the New Orleans Super Bowl, but we're fortunate to have Frank Sapavitz as Chief Lieutenant, Mary Pat Augenthaler here, who's going to share a little bit more about the details. But you'll remember last year in Indianapolis, one of the great things was how the city wrapped their arms around this event. The hospitality was extraordinary. And there was one little unique feature, which was the zip line. And it was a great thing for the city, it was a great thing for the visitors. So we've got to match that next year. I don't know what it is, but we've got to match that. And I'm going to take the mayor on that zip line, all right, Mayor?
Absolutely.
So I'd like to introduce Mary Pat Augenthaler, who is our second in command in our special events. She will give you a little bit better idea of some of the details, and then we'll take your questions. Mary Pat.
Thanks, Commissioner. Super Bowl Boulevard is really going to be exciting, and I've had the pleasure of being able to plan it since its beginning. So, as some have already said, we will be open from Wednesday through Saturday from 12 noon until 11 p.m. each day. The event is free, and we're going to stretch from 44th Street to 34th Street, and our intent is to create the epicenter of football and entertainment along those 10 blocks. Some of the highlights of Super Bowl Boulevard will be the Vince Lombardi Trophy. We'll have a clinic field there. We're going to have player appearances, free player autographs, different NFL exhibits, and the NFL Network Theater. We also anticipate that the NFL Network, ESPN, and Fox will also join us and be broadcasting live from Super Bowl Boulevard. We also have our very, very popular, for anyone who has attended a Super Bowl before, has seen the 36-foot-tall Roman numerals that will be placed on Military Island between 43rd and 44th Streets. And just to cover off on a couple more events, that Super Bowl footprint really, it extends throughout the city. And as Mayor Bloomberg said, that the 5,000 credentialed media will be housed at the Sheraton. And then the media party will be on Tuesday of Super Bowl week, and that will be at Chelsea Piers. And then the Friday night party, NFL House and the NFL Honors, which is our nationally televised award show, will all be held in New York. This is sort of interesting for those of us that work at the NFL, but Super Bowl in New York will be a home game for us. So Super Bowl League headquarters will be at League headquarters on Park Avenue.
Mary Pat, we can make it easy for you and Roger to get prepared because you can start printing the tickets now. It is going to be Giants-Jets or Jets-Giants in the Super Bowl. And I will be rooting for both. Al Kelly is the Chief Executive Officer of the host committee for Super Bowl XLVIII. As a former Vice President of American Express, he really does have the experience that we need in the world of tourism and hospitality. This is going to be wonderful for New York City. Al, do you want to describe it?
Thank you, Mayor. So to Roger's point, the game is 374 days away, but the real action begins 368 days from now when Super Bowl week opens up. That's where the excitement, the energy, and the economic value for this region will come. I wanted to share with you that a couple of hours ago we made some announcements with the NFL and Governor Christie's office relative to specific events that are going to be in New Jersey. So the Media Day will be at the Prudential Center on Tuesday in New Jersey, the ticketed event that was started a couple of years ago at the Super Bowl. Both the participating teams will stay, and their traveling entourages will stay in New Jersey. The NFC team will practice at the Timex facility that is the home of the New York Football Giants, and the Atlantic Health facility in Florham Park, the home of the Jets, will be the practice facility for the AFC team. The NFL's tremendous tailgate party will be held in the grandstand at Meadowlands Racetrack on Super Bowl Sunday. The Super Bowl host committee pregame party will be held in New Jersey, and the team's postgame parties will be held in New Jersey at sites still to be determined. And again, I want to add my thanks to all of the folks who have helped us. The partnership between the host committee, the NFL, and the government partners has been tremendous.
Al, thank you. Since I've guaranteed who is going to be in the Super Bowl, and a cynic might say, well, you're not going to be mayor at the time, so what happens if you're wrong? The answer is I'm not going to be wrong. But you have the privilege today of hearing from both these teams, the Giants and the Jets. They teamed up jointly to support our successful bid for next year's Super Bowl, so we're going to hear from them. And we are honored that the president of the New York Giants, John Mara, is with us today. And speaking for the host committee is a co-owner of the team and co-chair of the host committee for Super Bowl XLVIII, John Tisch. Guys?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like it to be a home game also for us, clearly. Close to 3 years ago, the Jets and the Giants made a presentation to our fellow owners in Dallas, and we won their support in terms of bringing the game, the greatest game in sports, to the New York, New Jersey area. And in our commitment, we articulated a vision for how this game, Super Bowl XLVIII, would be exciting, would be different, and would encompass all that this region has to offer. And clearly, as you've heard about some of the details now about what will happen a year from now, you get a sense of why we, the Jets and the Giants, are so excited. On behalf of our partners, the Mara family, I know that we feel very confident that the greatest game in the world will now be played on the greatest stage in the world. This is one for the history books, and you can be sure that at MetLife Stadium, the Jets and the Giants and both states and the city of New York will do everything we can to ensure that this is truly a memorable event. The mayor mentioned the 52 million visitors that came to our city last year, which was a record, and hopefully we will continue to improve upon that. But it's also important to know that events like Super Bowl, Grammys, Country Music Awards, All-Star Games help get us to that number, and the 52 million people allow us to employ 350,000 people in the travel and tourism industry. So events like this are vital to us emotionally, but also economically. We are thrilled to be part of this, the Jets and the Giants. We know it's going to be super. We know it will take place in the greatest region in the world, and we want to always thank the governors, Governor Cuomo, Governor Christie, Mayor Bloomberg, Commissioner Goodell, the NFL, and all the people in the city of New York who work and ensure that we are safe and sound every day, who will help make this successful for us. Mayor, thank you.
Let me now turn the ball over to the owner of the New York Jets, who is also a co-chair of the Super Bowl host committee, Woody Johnson. Woody?
Thank you very much, Mayor. There's a lot of firsts with this Super Bowl XLVIII. Number one, it's two teams. I'm not going to go through all of them. Two teams, two cities, two states. And I think most importantly, as Roger said, it's outdoors in the Northeast. That's never been done before. So that was quite a good level of accomplishment in getting all of the other owners to agree on this. But this is going to be challenging, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we as Roger says, the commissioner says, we have to welcome this weather, and we will. I also like to just point out that Al Kelly has done an extraordinary job in putting this thing together. Really, a pop-up organization that he's put together with amazing people. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of volunteers to help us with this, and it wouldn't be possible unless Al had done an incredible job. Also, Mayor, thank you for what you've done. Commissioner Goodell, the NFL, Governor Christie, and everybody else who's helped us to make this a really memorable event that we can hopefully duplicate again. Thanks.
Woody, thank you. And finally, the Manhattan Borough President, Scott Stringer, whose support for the Super Bowl plans for our city has really been invaluable. He has been a cheerleader, and people will look back and say, you know, thanks for it, not just him, but everybody in the city and in the region who's made this possible. Scott?
Well, thank you, Mayor. And obviously, this is an exciting event for the tri-state area. But we Manhattanites are ready to go. We're going to help throw a great big block party, because that's what we do. That's how we think of big events. And the Boulevard is going to be about celebrating Manhattan, celebrating football and real weather. And I'm just very glad to be part of this. I think this is one of the great events that's coming to New York City. And we are the centerpiece of America. And I can't imagine a more exciting event. Jet Giant Super Bowl. This is going to happen. Right, Mayor?
We're done. Before taking questions, let me summarize for today's announcement for our Spanish-speaking New Yorkers. El Super Bowl viene a nuestra ciudad el próximo año y habrá 4 días de eventos antes cuando Broadway se convertirá en el Boulevard de Super Bowl. And with that, we'll